issues at the college level, they're going to make it very hard for Duke to do anything today.
Yeah, I think Virginia is clearly more talented, and while Duke does have some players,
Yeah, the Fina kid and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah, they've been very uncharacteristic of a Manny defense team, which is their defense has been terrible.
Yeah.
And, the redshirt sophomore, Darian Mensah, I like this kid a lot. And, I wouldn't rule him out from declaring for the draft. I think he's right up there. When you talk about the way he throws the deep ball, extends plays, throws on the run, he just turned 20 years old, so he's really, really young, really, really emerging, can drive the football, escape the pocket. I like what this kid brings to the table. And in another season, I mean, he could be right up there. We're talking about him with Julian saying they got Terry Moore on the back end, probably a day 3 prospect, former running back who converted to safety. I think he has a bunch of tackles, leading the team in tackles, I believe. Definitely someone to keep an eye on, as is Brian Parker, the 6'5", 305 pound offensive tackle out of Cincinnati, Ohio. A lot of people feel like he can maybe push for the late first round. I think he falls in that day 2 territory. I know there's a lot of love for Chandler Rivers, the cornerback there, but just like we discussed with D'Angelo Pons, Rivers is a hard sell at 5'8", 184 pounds, has good speed, not great speed. I just wonder where you hide a guy like that on a roster. Good football player.
Yep.
But how do you hide those deficiencies? You just can't.
When you're that little, you got to be special everywhere else if you're playing corner. And that's really the toughest part is if you're under 5'9" anymore and you're not rare as a twitchy, explosive athlete, it's going to be very hard for you to stick around long term. Now, are there guys that do it 100%? I'm not saying this is a locked-in law forever, but I will tell you this. It is a real challenge to have a defense with a 5'8", 5'8.5" corner that isn't special athletically.
Yeah, one other guy I'll touch base on is Vincent Anthony Jr., the edge rusher, senior prospect, 6'5", 251 pounds. He's been very productive, shown the ability to get after the quarterback, maybe left some sacks out there on the field this season. But when you talk about the measurables and production and the P4 pedigree at that size, over 34-inch arms, he's actually got an 82.5-inch wingspan.
Woo.
So you talk about great length, flashing the ability, all the tools to work with, probably needs a redshirt year at the next level. But this is a guy, again, day 3, late round. You stash him on the practice squad for a season and see if you can mold him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you watch Duke, he's a pretty looking kid. He's what you want walking off the bus. And about 5 or 6 times a game, you see him do something. You say, oh, that's NFL skill set right there. But you want to see it consistently. That's what you want to see is consistency, and you want to see him finish, like you talked about, leaving some sacks out there. This is a kid. Some teams going to look at him and they're going to fall in love. They're going to say, all right, this is a Duke kid. This is a long linear kid. He's got a lot of tools. He's flashing. He's going to probably go higher than I think his production warrants. Now, whether he can ever play into that draft position, I don't know, but he is a talented kid. There's no doubt.
All right, well, we got through the show, Russ, unscathed here.